Hi guys, Kirk from the Forever Homestead. Just thought I'd just touch base with you. Going through a lot of the YouTube channels, I've noticed that a lot of the homesteading channels, they start, kind of after the land's been purchased, and they all talk about buying land, which is great. I mean, that's where we got a lot of our information about the kind of land we were buying. But we've kind of decided right from the beginning, as a techno nerd, so to speak, myself, web designer, stuff like that, when we decided to go on to this journey of getting back to a simpler life, we knew right away, or I knew right away, that one of our ideas was going to be to do a video journal, so to speak, of the whole thing and put it on YouTube, and that way we're going to get the support of the people around us. But we never had an intention of buying the land until like the fall of this year. We know the area because Jessica's parents are up there, but and just from trips and stuff like that, it's a beautiful area. But we didn't really know it well enough to know where it is that we wanted to live. So our plan was to get moved up there, like we said, in July, and then once we were up there, we were gonna take some drives and drive around the areas and check out vacant lots and see what they had to offer. And one of the things that kept getting said to us over and over was that the land kind of picks the person. It's not the person that picks the land. And we walked on quite a few properties. I don't know, maybe half a dozen properties. And some of them you'd kind of walk on, and we'd kind of look at each other and say, well, does this feel like home? And but we never really found that perfect property, so to speak. That there were some that were acceptable to us, but nothing that really jumped out at us. And then just on a whim, we saw this. Actually, we saw a 25-acre property on Huron Road, which is down the road from Jessica's parents, and just around the corner from where we're going to be staying in the winters while we build our house. Jess kind of stopped in there with her parents or with her mom, and she came home and said, "Oh, it's actually a 32-acre property, not a 25-acre property." So anyway, a few months go by, and we went up to visit her parents. So the snow was off the ground, so we decided to take a walk onto the property. And we realized that it was actually two separate properties. So it's just 25-acre vacant land, and then there's a 32.2 vacant lot right next to it. So we decided to, we walked onto the 32 first because it had a stream, and from the homesteading point of view, having a stream is beneficial to us. So we started to walk onto that property, big fence on the front of it. It's been vacant for quite some time. You go through a little gate and there's a stream right there, and almost instantly, I would say within 4 or 5 minutes, checking out the stream and stuff like that, we both kind of looked at each other and thought, this is it, this is the property. If ever there was a property that spoke to us, it was this one. So we continued walking, got lost for a couple hours. Basically fell in love with it. Brought the girls down to see it, and then started to do some research on it. It's got some conservation, some environmentally sensitive areas on it. It's got the stream. It is protected under the conservation authority parts of the property. But there's some wide open spaces. There's a lot of trees. And it's actually very unique because the one side of the north side of the stream is all like cedar trees, like that type of forest, and then the other side of the south side of the stream is actually like hardwoods, and the difference between the two sides is pretty spectacular. And on both sides, lots of open space. The ground on the south side is pretty sandy. So it's going to take some time to make some soil for gardens and stuff like that. But it's some pretty wide open spaces that are gonna make it pretty nice for building a house without having to tear a lot of stuff down. The stream runs probably 3/4 of the property, and it's got a pretty good flow. anyway, we started to do some research on it and contact, you know, the real estate agent and stuff like that, and all the conservation authority and the township, and you know, we started to do some due diligence to make sure that the property was usable for us. You know, if you could put a well on and septic and all that kind of stuff. And we were going to go in with a lowball bid on it because it's been on the market for so many years. And then as you know, we were kind of getting close to the end of our due diligence period, the realtor actually called us and another offer went in on it. So that was pretty heartbreaking. We were thinking, you know, wow, maybe we'll just let it go. We're not ready to buy, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, Jessica and I talked, and we both really wanted the property. The 25 next to it would have been good, but we both kind of wanted the one with the stream and all that. So we put our offer together and faxed it through. So we're putting in an offer on a property today. Just scanning all the paperwork in to send to the real estate agent. It's a little scary, you know, taking everything that we have from the sale of this house and basically spending the majority of it on a piece of dirt, some sand, some trees, 32 acres of it, you know, it's got a nice stream. There's another offer. We were hoping to like underbid on this property, but the real estate agent that we've been working with actually emailed us the other day and said that another offer came in. So we had to shit or get off the pot, I guess. We talked about it, and we're going in with our maximum bid, which is not all of what we made off the sale of this house, but a pretty big percentage of it. I feel good about it, you know, especially if we get it. I mean, if we end up getting the property, that's a good step in the right direction. But it's still scary to think that, you know, everything... Sorry, gotta set you out in a minute. Yeah, just scary to think that, you know, everything that we've worked for so far, we're kind of trading it all in, and all right. Well, anyway, it's a good step. It's a good step. I hope it goes through. I'm not 100% confident on our chances on this one. There's, like I said, but we'll see. So once that went through, like I just said, I didn't think we were going to be able to get the property. I thought that for sure that it was going to go to the other buyers and stuff like that. So that Saturday was pretty rough. Jessica had to go to work, and then I was working on the boat, getting that ready for the trip up. And then when Jess got home, she came up to the boat, and I kept checking emails all day, and it was pretty funny because I didn't get a reaction of my response to when I read the email that they accepted our offer, but I did get Jessica's reaction. So this is Jessica from Forever Homestead, and I haven't told her this news yet. We got the property.
You're not fucking kidding me.
We got the property.
Are you kidding?
We got it.
It's not a good joke.
I would never joke about it. They accepted our offer. He's gonna send us the stuff later on. I wouldn't joke about it.
That is amazing. I'm so excited.
So there we are. Not, you know, it was only May, I guess, when we got the property, but we weren't ready to, for everything that goes along with it. So now we're in a position where the house we're living in now closes on the 8th of July, and the sale up there closes on the 8th of July. So we're having to get everything moved from here up to that property, and we're buying a couple of shipping containers. We have a 40-foot shipping container now that's up in Red Bay now, where we were planning on putting the all of our stuff. And since then, we've decided that it would be more beneficial if we could have a 20-foot sea can dropped on our property here, and then we could use that, bee flying around me here, we could use that 20-foot sea can to actually hold all of our belongings. We can dump them all here, and then the delivery truck will come pick that 20-foot sea can back up and dump them on our property up there. But of course, you know, municipalities being what they are, we're having there's big delays trying to get an entry permit onto the property. They won't even, the Conservation Authority won't even accept an application for the entry permit until we own the property. We were hoping to have the application process done and approved, and then the day we bought it, we could have the gravel trucks there and everything, and pour in the driveway for us. And then the shipping containers could just be brought right up onto the land. So that's kind of where we are now. It looks like it's going to end up being, once the property closes on the 8th, we're going to have the sea can from here moved up, and the one that's already up there brought down to the property. But we're going to have to find a way in on it without a driveway, because there's not going to be a driveway there. So that 25-acre property next to us has a driveway. We're hoping that we can kind of get in on there, and the delivery truck can get far enough into the property and dump them on the sand right there. And hopefully the township doesn't scream too much until we can actually take out the proper building permits and stuff like that. So anyway, just wanted to bring you up to speed on where we're at on our journey so far. Yeah, so we're getting there. We've got about a month now. It's June. What is today? June 3rd. So a little over a month until closing. I'm doing some boat projects. There'll be a video on that coming up. Getting the house packed. Not looking forward to that. I've only been here 3 years, but Jessica's lived here for about 11 years, almost 12 years now. So you can imagine the amount of stuff that's been accumulated that, we're trying to go through and whittle down actually what we need and what we don't anymore. Preparing for a simpler journey up there. Also coming up, the 20-foot sea can, when that's delivered, I'll be doing a video on that, because the long-term goal for that sea can is we're going to turn that into like a tiny home, a bunkie, so to speak, put it on the property in the summers, so probably May to October or November, we're going to live on the property in the sea can, and then the property that we're going to be living in over the winter, we're going to be run that as a rental property for cottage country up there, bringing some extra income for the Forever Homestead, as well as for Jessica's father-in-law, who owns the cottage now, and that way, the really cold wintry months, we don't have to worry about insulating the sea can too well and surviving the winter, so to speak. Although it's completely doable, it's just we have a couple of creature comforts that we can use. But anyway, those will be coming up. So until next time, have a good one.